Hi everybody, it's Sandy Smith-Leyva, and this is this week's installment for Brain Food for Accounting Leaders. And today we're going to do one that you might have heard of. It's pretty common, but that doesn't mean that it's simple, right, or easy. So it is boundaries, and it is in the area of detox. And what it means is finding a balance between your own personal needs as an individual and those of others, maybe your clients, your family, your employees. Let's talk about when boundaries go wrong and when they cause problems for us, and then mostly in the mindset and the emotional. When we end up having to do things for clients that ask at the very last minute that are really taking advantage of their procrastination, and then they expect us to kind of make up for it. Hey, I'm sure you've had that happen before. Doing something without charging for it. You know, sometimes we don't want to go through the hassle of billing and collecting it, and messing with that, even though we really should. What's worse and what's more important to deal with is compromising your values for clients. Perhaps they want you to pay their bills late, or they're constantly they've got something that they want you to report differently, and of course that is probably somewhere where you don't want to compromise because it's all about your career. And then compromising your reputation for clients. And in that situation, one example is if you do have to pay the bills late and you are part of a fairly small town with maybe under 250,000 people, then the word will get around. And if, of course, as a bookkeeper or an accountant, if we pay our bills late, or even if we pay clients' bills late, it reflects on our reputation. These are some of the things that clients might ask you to do where you may not want to step past the boundaries because it's going to cause you an excessive amount of cost and worry in your life. And what happens is if you do all these things for the clients, which are way over and above the call of duty, say, then it ends up making you frustrated. You end up working too hard. You run out of time because you're always doing something for the client. You may be taking home too little money if you're writing off the bill too much. You may start resenting your clients because you feel like you have to do things or you're going to lose them. And then you definitely feel like people are taking advantage of you, and of course that leads to burnout. So we don't want that to happen. The professions that this is typically really in trouble for are nurses, or if you have a nurse in your family, a lot of time that rubs off. You tend to want to help people a lot more. And it's great to have fabulous customer service, but it's not great to overserve in a way that burns you out and that is not fair and that it does not provide value that's reciprocal. People who are people pleasers, which is most of us, we tend to fall into this category that we need to really watch our boundaries. Codependent people that are codependent have a low self-worth and they feel needy toward other people. And then if you feel insecure or needy, then you may be more susceptible to breaking your boundaries and over-serving clients and other people in your life. So the answer to this is to set some limits and respect yourself and know what you're worth. And when other people ask you for things, communicate ahead of time how valuable your time is and that you expect that your time to be respected by the people around you. Communicate that the response, you will be able to respond to them in a certain time frame and make that really clear up front at the beginning of the relationship. And if they do need emergency service, then perhaps you have a rush charge or something like that that you can implement for them. And then the scope of work, if you're charging by package or flat fee, then you need to be clear. And the answer to this is to provide a change order. So you really want to watch your limits. And the best way to stay out of trouble with this is to communicate your expectations to the other person. and set your boundaries with them, so to speak. I will do this and I won't do this. And in that way, you'll be very successful with letting the other people know where you stand and what you're able to do for them and what you're not. So the action for this week is to be cognizant of where you may be allowing people to violate your boundaries, and see if you can have a conversation with them so that you guys can get off to a better start, and that you both value each other and respect each other's time and value that you provide in the relationship. And then you'll be much happier in the long run. You'll really appreciate the relationship. So this is a great mindset tip to always be aware of. Thanks.